Okay, we're live again. Next step here is going to be to get some petroleum byproducts going. That would be the sulfuric acid and the plastics. Get those on the bus. And then reach out to the northeast and go get the stone and smelt that into brick. I didn't leave direct room for brick smelting, but I can always insert it here off to the right. Not a problem. So, I've been rethinking this, and having this junction here for the various oil products is not a bad idea, but it is likely that I will be sending more petroleum gas up to be handled than I will want to have total. So, well, I will want to send a separate spur of it up for that, if you get what I'm saying. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have potentially several petroleum lines going north. Do I have some space here? I have some space here. So I'm going to bring things down. Do I have a convenient measure? Yeah, I'm going to allow for, say, 3 petroleum lines going north, just like that. And we'll just start with the first one right now. And the idea is that all 3 of these will be fed by maybe 3 copies of the refinery, and they will be merged together down here when it comes time to actually sending them out, like that. So let's prep for that. This is going to be some pumps. I'm not sure where the other pumps are going to be, but they're likely to be scattered downward. Let's do it this way. And we're going to need some power. So we potentially have several inputs. Now if we're going upwards, actually let's set this up so that I can split these. Now, these guys have a big chunk of petroleum in them, but I'm only going to pump if I have more than 10K. So if anything is greater than 10,000, then we can pump. There we go. And we'll just take this up to where we are going to be working on our stuff. That's actually a good place to bring it to a stop. So we're going to need sulfuric acid, and we're going to need plastic. And I'm not sure what the ratio is going to be, but let's just set some stuff up to start with. Sulfuric acid is fairly simple. With 4 machines, gives us 12,000 sulfuric acid per second. per second per minute. I seem to remember that's a pretty good rate, so we're going to go with that. But to feed it, we need sulfur. These have to be spaced out. I remember it's a 5:2 ratio. I've done direct insert versions of this, and they're not that much better. Oh, come on. So we're actually going to be using different power. I don't know why I did those power poles there. They don't actually save any time. I could have just stomped these out normally. So this will give us exactly the right amount of sulfur. So the inputs are going to be plate, iron plate, which we can grab from the left. We have petroleum. We're going to need 18,000 per minute petroleum, and we're going to need a bunch of water. But we have water off to the right. So 18,000 petroleum per minute, and we are currently making 2,700. So what I'm finding out is that this is massive overkill by 10 to 1. But it's such a compact build. I'm going to go with this build, and then we will just arrange it so that we split our petroleum two ways. The other thing I want to build is the plastics. And I think I remember it being 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. Is that correct? No, that is the wrong one. I want plastic. So plastics, again, this is also way overkill on the amount of petroleum. And in terms of transport belts, this is 1 belt of coal in and 2 belts of plastic out. And we're going to do this with undergrounds. So there's our 1 belt of coal in. Actually, let's take our outputs to the left. So there's that. And we're going to need some way of splitting our petroleum essentially 4 ways. Do I have any... yes, I do. So if I do let's set it here. Can I do that? That's going to be tangled up in this belt fairly well. Let's see, I could put it in the middle here. Where did my thingy go? That is a technical term. That's me searching for storage. So if I place this here, then we potentially have you know what? I need to be doing these with ghosting so that I can move it around easily. And there is my pump. So I can actually go ahead and just set these pumps up this way. Because the amount it's going to pump, as long as everybody's pumping equal amounts, we're all right. So that'll work. We still need to bring water in for these guys on the left. Yeah. Which means really we've got water and coal coming from the right. We've got petroleum coming from the left and in. This is not actually that good a layout. What I really need is to put this above, and potentially I may want to double these up later. So I will put this up here, but move it across to allow us to double later. So in theory we can add more sulfur there, and in theory we can add more there. And this guy, I will do the same thing. Move him out of the way. So we're going to put him here, and we'll just double him across. When the time comes to double him up, it'll be easy. Okay, so the one line of coal is going to come in the middle from there. We really want to leave space for the doubling, so let's pre-plan. We will pre-plan, we will not populate, because this will chew up infinitely more resources than we have there. So now we need to set up our pumping stations so that we provide just what we need here and here. Can we do it like this? If we have too much space in between, we're going to be drawing from a pipe. We may not get it evenly matched. However, if we do it like that, that has potential. So now we just need to get the inputs. And we'll do the same thing here. Jump under there. So there's our coal. So to these guys, I still need to bring the petroleum input. which is likely to be something where I can split it evenly again. You know, if I swap this, no. Trying to work out a way to make this all feed nicely. If I do that, I still have to wrap a pipe around. There's no real way around it. This is going to be an ugly distribution system if I want to insist on keeping that evenly split. What I could do so this gives me pumps feeding there, and this gives me pumps feeding up, and I will drag in like that. And we can conditionalize all four of these pumps on the sum of these two being high, and bring our stuff in from the left. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So these are all going to be based on anything greater than 10,000. Now I'd like it if I had some hysteresis on a switch, so I could turn it on at a higher level and turn it off at a lower level. I never really did work that out. I was going to work on that many years ago. I never got a hysteresis switch going. So those pipes are going to go out and go get some oil. And we need a lot of pipes. This is not going to be enough petroleum for us in the long run, but we'll beef it up as we need to. We're probably going to need to do that quickly because I remember Blue Science as being very, very plastic heavy. But we have a planned out build now for sulfuric acid and for plastics. So let's just grab all of the available pipe. And how many of these do we have? 60 chem plants. How many do we need? We need a total of 60. Well, how about that? And I don't want to plug in all of them yet. Yeah, if I plug all of them in, that will make it so we can output full red belts of plastic. And we don't want to commit to that resource drain quite yet, or do we? Well, heck, why not? Let's just do this. If we build this big, then we'll be ready to go. Okay, so it means that all of this belting here has to be red instead of yellow. So we'll place it yellow and then we'll upgrade it to red. And actually it doesn't all need to be yellow. Red. The first half can be yellow. Okay. This does need to be red. And the first half of the array will need red undergrounds. And the second half of the output needs red. Now this, yeah, I think this is probably overkill even for blue science. And we are going to be stealing from our smelter arrays. And that's just fine. So what does this say about quantities? This says that we need 2 transport, fast belt. Let's set this to fast. So we need just over 1 of coal, and we're going to get just over 2 of plastic. And each one of these machines requires what? In terms of basic inserters, we need a yellow inserter for the coal, and we're going to need a blue inserter to take out the plastic. And I've just realized that my belts here, I'm going to have to do something, because these are all going to be on one side of the belt. Okay, so if I put it out on a red belt, I just need here somewhere to flip it around. But the problem is that we have these guys. So we'll need to do something special with the pipes here so we can get this like that. So that's going to go on the far side of this guy, and it needs to lap over under the near side here, and that's going to put it out on the far side. So how? if we do that, that means that our petroleum line is going to break here. However, if we slip it, yeah, okay, let's do this differently. Since we do need to have a midpoint here, let's put it here and here. Always work out the joins and the complexities first. So there we have that. But in here, instead of this, we need something to take the outside lane here and move it to the inside lane here, which is that. There we go. Okay, so that's how we're going to handle getting our outputs. Same thing up here. Yeah, it's a good thing I did this because I also would have had it wrong for the yellow belt case. You can get by with that if you're only doing this much, because this much only produces one total belt. So you can do just that much and merge the two half belts later. But for what we're doing here, like that. So building this array still is a bit fiddly even after all these years. There's our outputs. And our inputs, I'm going to use blue inserters for inputs because I seem to remember yellow not working too terribly well picking off faster belts. Maybe the red belts were okay, but as long as we're placing blues, let's just place blues. Okay, now power. Not really important. I could just run with this and let it drop it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it manually. And let's get some stuff. Now up above, go. So now all we need is petroleum input. Okay. So this pipe will tend to stay empty while we're filling these. And now we can work on oh, and I put my power poles in the wrong place, didn't I? Yes, I did. Power poles have to go up because I need to be able to get my petroleum in there. I hope that puts that on the right side, the correct side. It might not. Let's step those up one higher. There. Now they are definitely out of the way. Okay, there we go. wonder if just dragging... Nope, doesn't. However, once I've dragged it, I can then go back and put these in. So that gets me my 2 red belts of plastic. I'm going to need a lot of red belts, but I may drag yellow belts down first. In fact, I may drag 1 yellow belt down first. So the 1 yellow belt, what I would drag would be just above steel, or just above and to the left of steel by 1. So let's drag 2 belts to reserve space. Red belt go. That's mainly so that when we get down low, we will be filling out just the lower belt. Who am I kidding? These will become red belts as soon as I need it, and then we'll work out how to get more petroleum down. In actuality, what I really want is to put something between those, maybe, no, plastic in the middle. Doesn't matter. So now, if I do Control N, and I pick up this guy and go all the way down to here. Haha, this does not include liquids. When I do it that way, do it like this. Again, it's not including how much petroleum I'm using. Oh, there we go. Items per minute, it does. Start from there, include down through there. So this says I need 66 more machines making petroleum to be able to keep up with my plastics. 66, so I need 71 refineries to match the plastics. I got 5. So this is going to run out real quick. Now to be fair, it's going to be only 35, so I'm really a 5 of 35 to make up 2 belts, and I'm at 5 of 18 to make 1 yellow belt. Yeah. What I've really got here is actually half a yellow belt at best. And I'm I'm going to prioritize them down. Yep, see here, we're already running off the end. So we will use whatever we use, we will have available, and we can always increase our production. So the next step is the sulfuric acid build. Now I don't know what the actual capacity of these pipes are. I do know that when I start running low, I need to start putting some pumps in the middle of that. So how much does this really produce? In terms of fast belts, this produces 2/3 of a fast belt. So when I go to the full set here, that's going to require an express belt to carry all of the sulfur into these machines. So we really, in this case, we are not going to build them all. We'll just build the ones on the end here. And this, in terms of basic inserters, I need 3 basic inserters to bring in the sulfur, or 1.5 blue inserters, which is not going to be very comfortable for the home team. Somehow we need to bring in the red belt into the middle. We're out of red belts, so let's go get some belts. Oh, the fast inserters, we have a stack size of +1. So a single fast inserter will probably be able to handle our rates for the sulfur, especially since we don't have the petroleum. So let's pick up, let's see, fast splitters, we need, let's just get them all. That should be, well, I hope it's enough belts. If it's not enough belts, then we've got a problem. We've got plenty of pipes. We can probably grab some more chem labs. Okay, so these guys need to have some similar layout here to get the sulfuric acid out of that. I'm going to go ahead and start my ghosting of these belts out here. Like that. What do these outputs look like? These need a blue inserter each output. So what I'm going to do is that. May as well fill these in just to have it set up. Now, top and bottom, we've got water, like that. And these guys are going to need water and petroleum. Well, shoot. I guess I'm going to bring the water down one like that. Okay. And from here, it's just hooking up the plumbing. I'm going to put a cut in, take a break, and finish the rest of this offline.